fallen off the face of the earth. I'm going to jump on here real quick and talk about whether or not you're truly ready to be the person you want to be. And so, a few things this week. Actually, I'm wrapping up a business trip in Bristol City, which is really interesting city, believe it or not. It's in part in the state of Tennessee and in part in the state of Virginia. So it's really interesting, where it falls. And so this was a visit to a client, and some interesting things really happened that really got me thinking about, whether or not you're ready to be the person that you want to be, the real you. And what I'm talking about here is a lot of people want to become something, and I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm speaking, I want to get fit, I want to eat better nutrition, I want to be the best father and husband that I can be, the best entrepreneur. And the reality of things is, I just hadn't made the real commitment. And I think that is probably one of the biggest things that holds people back. And let's face it, to make a real commitment to yourself, to become the person that you've always wanted to be, it's very difficult because there are challenges that come with that. The world's going to judge you. Family, friends are going to judge you. You're going to have a lot of haters. People are going to wonder why you're doing what you're doing, whether there's, merit behind that. And I had a real interesting conversation, last night with my client, as it was over a couple bottles of wine, believe it or not. And it was enlightening because it really made me realize that, to really become the person that you want to be, so I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm an entrepreneur, and making all those things work. And not to mention is I've been on this fitness journey, it seems like forever, and I've finally taken it seriously, after so many failure after failure after failure after failure. And in the reality of things, if you want to become the real you, you're not going to stop at anything. And one of the things that I had struggled with as an entrepreneur specifically is that I could never understand why a lot of entrepreneurs end up lonely. Why a lot of entrepreneurs, are misunderstood. Why a lot of entrepreneurs are seen as anomalies in the world. The more successful you become, the more misunderstood you actually become by the outside world and people close to you, your family and friends. And, we live in very challenging times. I'm not going to lie. There's a lot of hatred, a lot of violence, a lot of misconception. And at the end of the day, you just have to determine what matters to you. Like here's an example. I've made it a priority to eat better. So my nutrition is the best that it's ever been. I've made it a priority to work out 5-6 days a week. My coach has recommended, for me to work out 6 days a week, and I hate it. I have to be on the bike for 45 minutes to shed 400 calories. That's just on the bike. Let's not talk about, the different parts of the body, to work out, back and chest and arms and legs, and, it's not easy. It's not easy, but I have to remind myself, how bad do I want to become fit? How bad do I, want to become in the best shape? And fitness and nutrition is not just about eating better and just becoming physically fit. It's more than that. It's a mindset transformation, and that's probably been one of my biggest challenges, is to understand, like, how does that how does that relate to my life and business and Good morning to people jumping on. No, this is not an MLM scheme by any means. Um, I don't know where the fuck that came from, but all I'm talking about here is my personal experiences as a father, as a husband, being on a business trip. I'm actually wrapping up a business trip with a client. For those of you that don't know who I am, I'm an entrepreneur, marketer. I have a digital agency by the name of Razor Sharp Digital. We are the #1 human marketing agency on Google. We work with entrepreneurs and businesses in helping them develop their digital footprint using multi-channel marketing, emotional engagement, and human-to-human business practices. And so relationships is literally how I do business. It's the single most important thing. And this is why I'm talking about what I'm talking about here, because here's an example. Last night, we were just sitting in the foyer with my client, and just having a really great conversation over a couple of bottles of wine, and we talked about a lot of different things. And my client is also my coach, as well as someone that is helping me become really physically fit. And for those of you that don't know me or haven't followed me, you can follow my journey everywhere on social media. My Facebook, my Instagram, Twitter, my YouTube channel, and I talk about the transformation. I talk about my entrepreneurial journey. I talk about my pain and sacrifices and losses and challenges and setbacks. And this is why I decided to do this quick update, because I think a lot of people want to become something. They want to become great. They want to become financially independent. They want to become successful. And whatever definition success is to you, which, by the way, most people can't even define the real meaning of success to them. And that's what you have to do first and foremost. And that's something that I struggled with. I thought, success was a lot of money. I thought success was, living in a big house and driving an expensive car. Sure, I want those things and I'm striving towards those things, but those things, are not going to bring me happiness. No, I'm not selling anything. I mean, what the hell, man? Like, really? Like the stupid fucking comments that come from social media. Seriously, no, I'm not selling anything. I'm talking about an experience. The reason I'm doing that is to convey my experience and hope to help some of you, because there's a lot of disturbed people out there in the world. There's a lot of people who are unhappy, a lot of people who are struggling, especially right now through this pandemic. And if there's anything that I have learned as an entrepreneur, is the fact that perspective, the way you think, your mindset will literally change everything in your life. It will change your personal life. It will change your business. I will 100% guarantee that. And in fact, every successful person that I have met, and by the way, if you haven't checked out my podcast, The Roz Project, it's available everywhere in audio and video. I talk about a lot of these things, and I will tell you this: every single millionaire that I have interviewed over the last 6 years on my podcast, they have had two constant things that are really, really important. One, they have spent a lot of time into personal development and mindset development. Like, their minds are so sharp, like an X. That's every millionaire I've ever encountered. And the second thing is they have probably some of the most rigorous daily routine that I have ever seen. That includes getting up early at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, putting in a couple hours worth of workout, having a healthy breakfast, eating multiple times per day, having a calendar, documenting everything on what they want to accomplish on a daily basis. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is I'm hoping that this knowledge is going to help some of you out there. I know for a fact I'm not the only one out there who wants to succeed in life and in business. And I'm telling you that to become the real you of who you want to be, whether it's you want to become fit, or you want to lose some weight, or you want to make more money in business, or you want to achieve your goals and dreams, like, you have to understand you're going to have to become someone that you've never been. And that someone is going to be like extremely, extremely misunderstood um, by the entire world. Okay, so we've got one comment from Twitch. Why go through the trouble? Everyone is going to die. All right, do you want to live the rest of your life in misery? Like, seriously, do you want to wake up every single day and feel like, well, the world sucks. The world owes me something. I'm broke. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to live like that. I want to live every single day like it's my last. Because you know what? One day your life is going to be over. And I will tell you this, I'll share an experience with you. So, um, earlier this year, this was in April, we had a family member that passed away. And it was in part because of the pandemic. And so I remember having a last phone call, and I knew in the back of my mind, my intuition was telling me, you know what, this is going to be the last time I'm going to talk to him. And there was nothing that I could do about it, like nothing. And I remember having previous conversations with him, and I could hear the regret in his voice that, like, he always wanted to do certain things and he never did because he was so worried about what everybody else would think about him, as opposed to, why not do it for yourself? Because after all, it's your life. You don't live, if you live your life based on other people's expectations, if you live your life based on what everybody else tells you to do, I feel sorry for you because you're not living a life. You're living someone else's life. And I've been there. I have been there. I've done those things. And I was the most unhappy because, I would always do the things that everybody else expected me to do or they wanted me to do. I would never make a choice for myself. And, the reason I'm sharing this with you is because there's a lot of you out there who are unhappy. You want to become more successful. You want to become healthier. You want to escape the day-to-day minutia that you're dealing with. And so the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because I truly hope that this message will resonate with some of you out there. Because there is a lot of people who are unhappy. There's a lot of people who are trying to find themselves, the real themselves. Um, are you serious, man? I'd rather die young because life is a sham. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, here's what people don't realize: you were given a life by God. Okay, you were given one life, and you want to waste it. You want to waste it because other people are telling you what you should and you shouldn't do, or who you should vote for, or who you shouldn't vote for, or what job you should work, or what kind of car you should drive, or how you should live. That sounds like a pathetic way to live, honestly, because you're not making choices for yourself. You'd rather die young because life is a sham. Are you okay, dude? Like, are you struggling with depression or stress or something? This was a comment that came from Twitch, by the way, that I just addressed. Someone just said that he or she would rather die young because life is a sham. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like, I'm 40 years old and I feel like my life is just starting. And, on this business, so wrapping up this business trip, I'm in Bristol City, Virginia right now. We'll be heading back home to St. Louis. I've got a full day of traveling, a couple of trips a couple of planes that I have to switch to get back home later tonight. But you know what? I'm looking forward to getting back home to see my kids, my 4-year-old son and my 2-year-old daughter, and seeing my wife, that I haven't seen in a couple of days, because you know what? That's what makes me happy. Family makes me happy. And family is my number one priority. And that's happiness for me. That's success for me. That's how I see. So when I look at my life, and this is what I want you guys to take away, is you'll have to make priorities to yourself of what's important to you. as part of your goals and dreams. For me, family is number one. Fitness and health and being in my best state is number two, and business is three. Now, in the reality of things, being able to do all those three things is going to be extremely, extremely challenging because, to be the best family man, the best father, the best husband is difficult because it's a full-time job in itself. To be in the best, physical shape that I can be is difficult because, and I was talking about this with my coach last night. I mean, I'm working out 2+ hours for 6 days per week. That's the goal. And we just started this 3 weeks ago, and I've been ramping up. And this is the first week. So Monday I had a workout. Yesterday I had a workout. So this is day 3. Here it is, Wednesday. And, to be able to do that is extremely difficult because of the way my schedule is. But you know what? Nothing is impossible. You have to make the determination. You have to say to yourself, okay, do I want to be the best family person? Do I want to be the most physically fit? Do I want to be the best entrepreneur, business owner? But you have to make your decision. Like, you have to make those choices. Nobody else is going to make those choices for you, honestly. And what's really frustrating is with social media, I mean, I'm reading comments here from Twitch. So someone just said, in my personal opinion, everyone is delusional. Well, you might think that everyone is delusional because you don't see their perspective. You don't see their life. You don't see their goals and dreams. And you shouldn't, because everybody has their own goals and dreams. Everybody wants to do something different. What I want to accomplish in my life is completely different than probably 99% of you watching this stream right now. And that's okay. We don't need to align with the same goals and dreams. You got to determine your own goals and dreams and really strive towards those things relentlessly. What I mean by relentlessly is every single day get up and say, you know what? This day is a blessing. God gave me another day. Now go and make use of it. Whatever that is. So for me, as I get up, this morning I got up. I got up early, and in fact, what's really crazy is over the last 3 weeks, I've been getting up in the mornings a lot earlier than I have probably in the last 10 years. I'm up 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, which usually I wouldn't get up until like 7 or 8. And this is during the weekdays, and so that's a win for me. This morning I got up early, was able to take a shower in this amazing hotel room that I've been staying for the last couple of days. Well, I've been here on a business trip to visit with a client and shoot some videos, some social videos, some content that we're going to be publishing on all their social media properties. And, so I took a shower. I went downstairs, have an amazing breakfast, had scrambled eggs and had some oatmeal. And you know what? Felt fucking amazing. I felt fucking good. And no heartburn. I feel invigorated. I feel like I'm going to tackle my day. And so, I'm less than 2 hours away from being picked up and taken to the airport. I'll be doing some work while I'm waiting to board my plane. And that's me. You got to figure out you. So this guy says, dreams and ambitions are pathetic to me, but you do you. Okay, man. Like, look, I'm not bashing anybody. I want to make that very clear. And another thing I want to make very clear is that, you're absolutely right. You do you, I'll give you an example. So me and my client that I visited here over the last couple of days, me and him both have different political views, and but we both can agree to disagree. In other words, it's just because we both have different political views, we are not going to sacrifice a relationship, business relationship and a friendship over political views. And that's the problem with the world, is like too many people are creating division between each other because They're either worried about what everybody else is, on a political standpoint, on a social standpoint. So at the end of the day is, look, if you're happy, this is really the key message behind the stream is if you woke up this morning and you're happy and you say, you know what? I feel great. I feel like I'm doing everything that I should be doing. If you're doing those things, I'm freaking happy for you. I really am. But you know what? I want more. I am on the journey to become the best physical shape that I've ever been. I'm looking to see my six pack for the first time in 20 years. I'm looking to make more money than I've ever made over the last 5 years since I started my business. I'm looking to achieve my goals and dreams next year. There's a big goal that I'm going to be hitting next year. I'm looking to spend the most amount of time with my family. I'm looking to travel. Like, I have such big goals. You guys have no fucking idea, honestly. But you know what? These are my goals. These are my dreams. You need to have your own. What are those goals and dreams? And if you don't have any goals and dreams, then your life is probably pretty boring. I mean, I hate to say that, but maybe you like that. Maybe that's you. Maybe you wake up every day and you're like, well, there's nothing exciting today for me to do, but I'm cool with that. I woke up today, I'm living my life. If that's you, great. If that's how you want to go about your life. But I will tell you this, there's nothing more rewarding than seeing your goals and dreams come to a reality. And I've had several of those come a reality, things that I have dreamed for, and those of you that don't know me, I was born in Bulgaria. I'm an Eastern European. I'm an immigrant. My family immigrated to the States over 20 years ago. Most of my former father's friends back in Bulgaria thought he was crazy when he decided to immigrate to the United States, because they didn't have the balls to do that. So he took a leap of faith. He took a risk. You know what? Now he's living the best life because he risked and he sacrificed. But at the end of the day, you got to make those choices. You want to become the real you. You need to stop worrying about 99% of what you see in the world. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was at the gym, and I'm sitting on the bike, and mind you, as part of my daily exercise, I have to pedal my ass for 45 minutes. That's 400 calories alone to burn just on the bike, 6 days a week. That's part of my cardio, right? I'm sitting there on the bike, and I'm pedaling, and I look straight up, and right above, there's like this huge sliver of about like 20 TVs that are like, set one next to each other. So while you're pedaling, you can watch TV. Do you know what I saw on every single TV? I saw the news, something about a shooting. I saw another news station talking about the election. I saw another station that was talking about, some girl got killed. Do you see right there? Three negative things. Why would I want to pay attention to the news? There's absolutely nothing positive on the news. Nothing. And there's a reason why. When was the last time you turned on the news and you saw that the news is talking about, you know what, there's 35 new entrepreneurs, that are contributing to the U.S. economy because they're creating jobs, or they open up new industries, Like, when was the last time you saw that? When was the last time you saw it? You want to know why there's nothing positive on the news and social media? Is because fear sells. Scared shitless people is literally what the news wants in the media because it creates tension. And a lot of people don't know that. That's why I don't watch the news. In fact, at home, I have every single on-demand service you can think of. I've got YouTube TV, I've got Netflix, I've got Disney Plus. We've got, everything. And like, I don't watch any of it because I have no desire. You know what my life consists of basically every day? I wake up in the morning, during the weekdays, when I'm not out of town, I get my kids ready for daycare. That's the highlight of my day. I get to see my kids, spend time with them. They eat breakfast. I get them dressed, take them to daycare. And I come home and then I hit client work and emails and like just trying to build more relationships and put forth my 26 years of digital media technology and digital marketing experience that I have towards, because that's my passion. That's what I do. That's what I love doing. Most people find it crazy when I tell them that, I lost over $100,000 in the first 3 years of my business over bad decisions, people screwing me over, people not paying me, like you name it. But I didn't quit because what I do is a passion for me. So I do that for the majority of the weekdays. Then I go to the gym, hit 2+ hours of a workout, come back home, do a little bit more work. Wife usually brings the kids home on the way from work. We have dinner, we socialize, we hang out with each other. And you know what? I love my days. I absolutely fucking love them. And another thing too, I mean, that's just me. That's just me though. Like that is what I like doing. That is, my day-to-day routine. Also being part of Arte has been amazing for me, to be honest with you. Has really changed my perception on the world and made me realize that I've always had it in, like, that's just it. Everybody has potential. Everybody has talent, something that they're good at. But a lot of people let that go to waste. Literally. Let me tell you, all my 20s, from the age of 20 to 30 plus, I let everybody around me tell me what I should do, what I should do, how I should look like, what kind of job I should work, how much money I should make, what kind of a house I should buy, what kind of a car I should drive. I don't know about you guys, but fuck that, okay? Because none of that, I made choices on my own. People made choices for me. And I thought that was okay. I thought it was okay because someone else made a choice for me, because I didn't make my own choice. That's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. Okay, I'm feeling really sorry for this person on my Twitch, but it's better if everyone dies than there will be peace. Look, I don't know if I can accept that. That is absolutely unacceptable to me because, you know what? I think our lives vary based on our individual experiences. This is 100% true, and I'll tell you why. So a lot of you don't know one part of my story, and that is 6-7 years ago, when me and my second wife wanted to have kids, we were told that we couldn't have kids. And our only option to have children was if we explored what's called in vitro fertilization. And so in vitro is very expensive, okay? It's an assisted medical procedure that basically assists with reproduction, between a male and female, or, two males or two females, but in this case, it was me and my wife, right? So anyway, just to shorten the story for you, after going through that experience a couple of times, costing me over $40,000, filing bankruptcy over it, you know what? Life is far more grand to me, because now every single day I look at two beautiful children. And you know what? Fuck that bullshit. It's better if everyone dies than there will be peace. Dude, I feel sorry for you, man. I think you need a hug. I really fucking do. I think you need a hug. Like, you must be living a really dark life. Like, seriously. How can you not appreciate life? You know what? Every elderly person I have ever talked to, and I'm talking about people like in their 60s or 70s, what I hear in their conversations is regret. Oh, I wish I would have played golf when I was younger, or I wish I would have played soccer, or, I wish I would have started a business. You see the common denominator? Wish. But when you're 60, 70 years old, 80 years old, and you get, like, your time's up. Like, you're about to punch your last ticket. And any day could be your last day. It's fucked up because regret is the worst feeling in the world. To know that you had all this time in your life, and actually life is very short, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like I just blinked, literally, and I'm 40 years old. I've got a 4-year-old son and a 2-year-old daughter, and I'm married for the second time. Like, literally, I feel like it just happened. So when you get that regret, and you will, I can't stop laughing. So all these opinions and ideas in the world mean nothing and is subjective. Okay. I'm not going to argue that. What I'm sharing with you guys here is the reason I decided to do the stream is because I'm telling you what I have experienced. I know that dreams work. Dreams come to reality. I know that because I've achieved some of my dreams. One of my dreams was to have kids. That happened. And it took several years. One of my other dreams was to start a business. That happened. That dream became a reality. Another dream that I had was to make over 6 figures. I have never made over 6 years in income for me per year. That happened this year. One of my dreams for next year is to buy our dream house with my family. My son's going to be starting kindergarten. I want to be able to have the dream house, with the big bedrooms and the big yard, so I can put in a swimming pool, and see my kids in the summer play, in the swimming pool, and bring friends and family over so we can gather. We can have barbecues and have fun and, and dance and listen to music, These are my dreams. Most of my dreams have become a reality already. And if you're in complete disbelief and you think that dreams are subjective, I feel sorry for you. I really do. But you know what? That's you. I don't pass judgment on anybody. That's not what the stream is about. No, I'm not passing judgment on anybody. You be yourself. You do whatever makes you happy. You go about your life every day the way you want to go about your life. For me, I want to make every single day the most of it. Every single day. And I'm grateful for the people in my life. In fact, I will tell you this. I'm on a mission right now to remove as many negative people from my life as possible because negative people have absolutely nothing positive to contribute to my life. I don't need negative people. I don't. I want positive people. I want people who have high goals and dreams. I want people who strive to be the best version of themselves every single day. I want people who I can sit down and have a conversation and, they say, all right, well, today here's what I got planned. I got business meetings and then I got workout and this and that. And here's why I'm doing it. Like, I want people that can contribute something positive to my life. Why would I want people to contribute negativity to my life? Why? So I can be more depressed? Do you know why depression and stress and anxiety happens for the most part? It's because it's self-induced. It really is. It's self-induced because a lot of people make bad choices. And who gets to control that? You. Nobody else does. You make your own choices. Nobody else makes choices for you. So you make a bad choice, there's going to be a bad consequence. But you're the person that's going to live with that consequence. You make a good choice, you get to reap the rewards of that. Like for me, I knew that when we're going through in vitro with my wife, like there was no certainty. Like we didn't even know if it was going to work. There was a 40% higher chance, but there was no guarantee that we'd be able to conceive. So what I did is, I shelled out as much money as I could, took out as many loans as I could, maxed out every single credit card that I had, just at a glimpse, just at a chance to become a father. There was no guarantee. Absolutely no fucking guarantee. And you know what? Now my son is 4 years old. My daughter's 2 years old. Two beautiful children. Every single day I wake up and I look at my kids and I say to myself, you know what? That was fucking worth it. I don't care that it cost me 40 grand. I don't care that I had to file bankruptcy. I don't care about what everybody else thinks, because you know what? I'm happy. My wife's happy. I have a family. That makes me happy. That makes me full. But that doesn't mean shit to anybody else. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I am trying to portray the picture for you guys to understand that the dreams work. But you need to be relentless in the pursuit of those dreams. And you need to give it all you got and have zero expectations. Because you know what most people expect? You know, people have entitlement. They think that the world owes you something. That's what most people do. A lot of you actually watching this stream probably think that. You think the world owes you something. You think your family owes you something. You think someone owes you something. Someone owes you money, or someone owes you happiness, or someone owes you, your dream house, your dream car, or more money in your bank account. That's bullshit. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Thanks. This is probably the most positive thing that the Twitch person just said. You have an interesting stream. I do. You're absolutely right. And you know what? This is why I've been able to get in front of millionaires and billionaires and meet some of the most interesting people in the world. Believe it or not, because I've just been me. I'm a guy who curses. I'm a guy who doesn't give two fucks about what people think about me. I just care about me and my family. That's it. And you know what? That's what you should be caring about. You want to become the real you? You want to become happier? You want to become more successful? Just worry about yourself. Stop worrying about what the news is saying, the media is saying, what everybody else is telling you to do and shouldn't do. Like, that's what most people do in the world. That's why most people are unhappy. That's why most people are depressed and stressed. Trust me, been there. Okay? I've been there. Majority of my 20s, when I would allow everybody else to make decisions for me and live a life based on other people's expectations, I was unhappy all the time. And I would wonder why I was unhappy. I'd say, man, today was a shitty day. Man, I just feel like crap. And then when I look at my day, it's like, okay, why was my day so crappy? Okay, was it because I made bad choices, or was it because other people made choices for me? Was it things that I could control or I couldn't control? And you know what? Suddenly I found out that the culprit was me. Literally, the culprit of stress, anxiety, depression. And mind you, these weren't in severity. I wasn't taking medication for any of this. But just because I wasn't taking medication for depression and stress and anxiety doesn't mean that I haven't been. Like losing money from a client because we're in the pandemic. So, that they have to cut, right? They have to downsize. You know what that does to me? When I found out that I'm losing $1,500 per month in income, that fucks me up. It does. But you know what? I have two choices. To say, okay, this is really fucked up, and dwell in it and be like, man, why did I lose $1,500 in income? Could I have prevented that? Could I have talked the client into saying, look, we really can't scale the monthly retainer. Really can't do this. It's not feasible. Can we work something out? Or on the flip side of that is, how am I going to recoup an additional $1,500 per month of income? And you know what? I take the latter approach, because dwelling on what has happened is not going to create a solution. Trying to come up with a solution, which would be, all right, I can go out there and meet more people, shake some hands, more Zoom calls, build more relationships on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, talk to more people, try to help more people. Because in business, believe it or not, the more people you help get what they want, they're going to help you get what you want. It's just actually very simple. It's simple logic. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was talking about this with my client actually that Tony Robbins, everybody knows who Tony Robbins is. Tony Robbins is one of the highest paid coaches on the planet. And you know what? When you look at what Tony Robbins does, he actually coaches logic. Literally, some things that most people either know or they don't know, but they're paying him for it. And that's actually one of my favorite quotes from him is just that, business is 90% logic and 10% execution. You could be the shittiest at what you do, but if you have the best logic and psychology, you're always going to win. That's what sales are, in essence. And so I want to address a comment that the guy on Twitch actually made, and he said, other people's opinions mean nothing to me too. Let me address this because I think you have a misconception of what I'm talking about here. I agree with you 100%. Other people's opinions mean shit to me. I don't give two fucks about it. What I'm talking about here is real experiences, okay? Like things that I have gone through that have helped me become the person that I am today or the person that I'm striving to become. This is like actual things that have happened. These are not opinions. These are facts based on real experiences. Now, opinions and facts are two different things, okay? An opinion is what someone thinks about something, okay? Now, I can tell you my opinions all day long. That doesn't make them facts. But if I have actual tangible to say, okay, well, yesterday, I was in the gym for 2 hours and, I burned 800 calories. You're going to say, no, Ivan, that's your opinion. No, it's not my opinion. Like I literally physically pedaled my ass off on the bike and worked on chest and arms, and I logged it in my app. That's a fact right there because I have a tangible. You see, like that's what most people can't delineate. Is the difference between an opinion and a fact because they think they're one and the same. And then there's people like, the person on Twitch that's like, other people's opinions mean nothing to me. I agree with you. I don't listen to people's opinions. I only listen to facts. And what I'm telling you in this stream is a lot of what I've told you are facts. The reason I talked about dreams and becoming the real you is because I have been able to accomplish dreams. I know that when you make it a goal to achieve a dream, that it's possible. Every single millionaire, I know people who 3-4 years ago, lived in a 200 square foot apartment, in the ghetto, on a dirty ass couch and slept on a dirty ass mattress. And now they're living in mansions and driving expensive cars and whatnot. Most people will say, that's not possible, Ivan. That's not possible in 3-4 years. It is possible. I interviewed a 19-year-old millionaire from Greece, which is one of the poorest countries in Eastern Europe, that became one of the most successful people to work with Amazon. 19 years old. He shared his story on my podcast. Now, that's a fact because that's something that someone went through. Now, just because they did the things that they did, does that guarantee someone else will achieve the same amount of success? No, because our lives vary based on our experiences and our choices. My experiences are different. My opinions are different than everybody else. So let's see. We've got a question coming in from Twitch here. This guy says, Anti-Natalism. I have no idea. I have to actually Google that, to be honest with you. Anti-Natalism. Let's see. Anti-Natalism or Anti-Natalism is a philosophical position and social movement that assigns a negative value to birth. Anti-Natalists argue that humans should abstain from procreation because it is morally bad. Some also recognize the procreation of other sentient beings as morally bad. Okay. This person on Twitch, there's the comment. Do you know of Anti-Natalism? Okay, dude, um, you need help. Okay, I need to hide this. There we go. Like, you need help, bro. Like, you've been around too many bad people. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And you've been taught to live backwards. I hate to tell that to you, but look, humanity, human life, is the most priceless thing that we know, and this is why procreation is something that humanity believes in, because life, is grand. Life is grand. Think about it. If you weren't born, you wouldn't get to experience anything. So, like, think about this from a logical standpoint, okay? Would you rather have a life to live or no life? Like, 100% of humanity, what is it, 7, 8, 9 billion people out there in the world, think that procreation is the way to go, because human life is the most priceless of lives. And so, no, I can't accept that, dude. I'm sorry. But look, if you think that anti-natalism is something that you want to live by, and, think negatively about the rest of your life, it's, look, that's totally up to you, but like I said, in my experiences, anyone that has ever achieved their goals and dreams, and anyone that has ever become successful in life and in business, has gone through a lot of risk and pain and sacrifice, and in fact, if you're religious, Jesus Christ, died for humanity. And, like, most people can't fathom that, and that's okay. Like, I'm not, this is me. I'm sharing my experiences, my life. I'm sharing things that I know have worked for me. Now, you have a choice. You don't have to make the same choices as me. You guys, you make your own choices. I'm not in this stream. I'm not suggesting that anyone makes the same choices as me. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm sharing perspective. I'm sharing experience. So the Twitch guy says, I hate negativity. I prefer logic. I'm a logic guy, but the logic behind, to live a counterintuitive life, to self-sabotage myself, just doesn't seem like good logic at all. Now, to live a life of prosperity, to live a life of happiness, to live a life of fulfillment, yeah, I see the logic behind that. Like, if I'm going to live a life, why wouldn't I want to live the life the way I want to live it? Look, if you want to live a negative life, full of depression and anxiety and stress every single day and making bad choices, do it. If that's what makes you happy, I can't seem to fathom that negativity would make anyone happy, that depression and stress and anxiety would make anyone happy. It would make people suffer. And there's, I think when it comes to suffering, there's, I guess, suffering is suffering, right? There's a difference between you suffer because of bad choices, or you suffer because you are giving up something, you're striving towards something. Like, I'll give you an example of suffering. I think suffering has different levels. So for the vast majority of my life, I've ate everything I've wanted, everything from fast food to you name it. As an Eastern European, I would eat 5-course meals almost every single day, multiple times. And then it wasn't until I got older I realized that, okay, majority of the foods that I eat, they give me heartburn because they're bad for you. They're high in acid. Then I realized that, okay, the fast food that I'm eating, let's look at what's really in fast food. The frozen beef and the buns and, like, everything that you eat. Like, all that shit is bad for you. Would you want to put that in your body and actually decrease your life expectancy as a result, because that's what you're doing, and then suddenly I realized that, okay, I shouldn't be eating everything, you know, um, simply because just because I was taught to eat a certain way doesn't mean that I have to live the rest of my life that way. So now I'm suffering in a sense. At first I was like, I'm suffering because I have to eat healthier, and I'm choosing to eat healthier. But that's a good suffering, if that makes sense, because I'm improving my energy levels, my cognition, I'm improving my health, I am improving my decision making skills. So, like, why wouldn't I suffer by, like, removing the bad foods that I was so used to eating? Like, that's what I'm talking about choices and becoming the real you. So, anyway, that's all I want to talk about, guys. Just want to do a quick update. I actually need to get ready, and I'll be checking out here soon, and heading over to the airport to head back home. But um, for those of you that watch for the first time, my podcast, The Roz Project, airs in video every week on Mondays and Fridays. Our next episode is going to be this Friday, actually, and um, the reason there wasn't one on Monday is because of being gone on business, and just had a really jam-packed day. So definitely tune in. We talk about life. We talk about personal development, technology, family, marketing, entrepreneurship, and I have a co-host actually that brings the fire. So I encourage you guys to tune in this Friday. We're gonna have some exciting things to talk about, and look, I hope you have an amazing day today, whatever it is that you're doing, and most importantly, I want you to be happy. Make better choices, make choices that make you happy, that make you fulfilled, to make you feel accomplished, because after all, you live only one life. So why not live it the way that you want to live it? Anyway, guys, take care. Have an amazing day. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.